Fred, you were talking about body swapping, and what if I suddenly appeared in the body of a woman, and what would I want to do? What would be my agenda? And there's something that I've observed over and over and over again, and that is, and I'm sure guys do it too. Is that a disclaimer? But I've seen a lot of women expect something for nothing. I was at Burning Man, and these four girls were walking by, and they were pretty much wearing lingerie, and I got the impression that they had just kind of met while meandering along, and one of them was talking about that, about how they'd all just gathered, and she says, we should walk together all the time. So much free stuff. And I looked over at her friends, and her friends kind of had like a disapproving look on their face. But I don't think that disapproving look was on the fact that, like, no, we're not dressing sexy and you know, walking around people's campsites looking for free stuff. I think what the disapproving look is you don't mention it. It's like I remember reading a short story about a man finding his bravery, and he had been a coward before, and suddenly he found bravery, and he turned to somebody that like was there and watched it happen, and said, "Is that what it's always like?" And the other man, the brave man, had been brave all his life, said, "That is what it's always like, but it's not talked about. You know, not too much." And then the other man said, "Okay." But I remember I've had some personal experiences with women. Like I remember I did Match.com, and I talked to some women about that. Like one woman said she'd been doing it for years, and it's like she didn't say this exactly, but it sounded like she said it's added income. She goes out to dinners, plays, movies, all these different things for free. You know, men pay for it. And I met one of these women, and actually, she was pretty straightforward about it. She liked free stuff. People gave her things, and she kept telling me that, and I kept more and more. I'd be looking at her like this. But there was no, she actually, we had less contact, physical contact. Like, she didn't even pat me on the shoulder at any point in time, or hold my hand and say, "Thanks for a lovely evening." She'd be like, "All right, see ya. Thanks for the movie." Yeah, she liked free movies. And I can't imagine what that's like. Yeah, I'd like to find out. Because it's not even like, so that woman I was taking out, like on all those dates all the time ago when I was on Match.com, she at no point in time gave me any kind of sense that she was going to give me anything. Like she was going to give me any kind of like, you know, it wasn't a kind of a pretty woman situation. I think it's the same thing with those women walking through Burning Man. They're just like walking along, and they accept gifts, you know, tributes to beauty, tributes to desire. They're Aphrodite's handmaidens, perhaps. You know, so you know, giving gifts to them is worship to a higher thing. So I don't know, but I'd like to see what that's like. It'd be fantastic.